Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Got Next podcast. I am your host, Mitchell Baldwin, my co-host, Donovan Moore. And today we have a special guest, Jean-Luke Welch, here in the building.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing?
Yes, sir. So just tell the people who you are real quick and what you're going to bring to the show today, Jean-Luke.
I'm a college student at One University.
Yes,
Me and Mitch have been pretty good friends for a while now, and I've been hearing about his podcast. And I've had him on my own podcast, The Welch Report. Slight plug. But this joker knows what. I might not agree with everything, but he knows what he's talking about. So I came to prove my leather and see if I can compete with him on his own turf. So we're gonna see what happens.
All right, yes, sir. All right, well, today we're going to be talking about the best trade destinations for Bradley Beal, talking about Russell Westbrook and what's going on with him this season, as well as award frontrunners so far as we got an all-star game now coming up, which is kind of cool. So, let's get into that today. I hope you guys like the video, like and subscribe, all that type of stuff, and enjoy the intro.
Yo, turn it up, Slack. I can't hear nothing.
So now that we have you guys back, let's start out here talking about some of the Washington Wizards and their problems so far. Russell Westbrook definitely did not come out of the season starting hot. I think right now he's averaging 5 turnovers a game. The Wizards, what is their record so far, Donald? You're a fan, so.
I think we're about 5-13, 5-15, one of those. It's not good basketball.
I believe that's the worst record in the NBA, correct?
It is. Yes.
My gosh.
The Timberwolves are worse.
Are they actually?
Are they?
I think so. I think the Wizards beat them.
Hey, the Heat aren't far off right now. I can't really say too much myself. But,
and the Pistons are pretty trash too. So it's kind of a couple teams bottom barrel right now.
Anyway, all right, they don't have Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. So let's stay on topic here. All right, let's talk about the Wizards and why they aren't better. All right, so do you guys think it's Russell Westbrook right now? What exactly do you think it is with this team?
They don't have talent outside of Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. They have a bunch of players that are only good at one thing at most. Bertans is only a shooter. So if he's not hitting shots, then what good is he? He can't play defense.
Right.
He's not good for much else. Hachimura's okay. He's developing, but he's young. But they don't have any really wing defenders, any wing scorers, and then they don't really have a big man inside that could dominate the game either, or like get rebounds and dunks. So
yeah, and I don't like the fact that they gave Davis Bertans all that money, and like I haven't really seen any return from it.
Let me tell you something about Davis Bertans. I'm a Spurs fan. He was on my team. That was he 7 feet sharpshooter?
Yeah.
Loved him. Loved that joker on the team. I was like, oh man, this is a big man. He knows what he's doing down low, and he can spread the floor. Oh, I love it. But now he's on a team that does not fit in terms of fits with his play style. They need somebody that can take over at this point in time, outside of those two. And while he's a good role player, the amount of money that they're paying him and the role that they're expecting him, or they thought he would be able to bring, he's not producing. He's not producing. He's past the point of, hey, this is a legitimate core piece to the team, and he's more of he's like an additive that makes a great team even better, but it doesn't make a bad team any improve. And so I hated it. I really hated it. My gosh, I'm upset. I could get paid that much money for the amount of production he's been. I should get paid that much money.
Yeah, it's like they gave him the Joe Harris deal, expecting him to be Joe Harris.
Yeah, exactly. Like the money they gave Bertans, they should have gave it to Bogdanovich. That's on Utah. That's on the Jazz. He's a very good player. He's solid, and you see what Utah's doing right now. He skipped the bubble last year, and they struggled a little bit. Lost to Denver, lost the lead, but they got him back, and they just playing great basketball. He could shoot, get his own shot. So they should have gave money to somebody like him.
All right, so what do you guys think about the Wizards' future? Do you think that they should just try and move on with what they have right now, try to get under the Russell Westbrook deal, trying to get out from under Bradley Beal? Like, what exactly do you want to see as a Wizards fan, Donna?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough because Westbrook, it's like people have seen him play for about almost 20 games now, and he still doesn't play backs-to-backs. It's kind of hard to judge when he doesn't play backs-to-backs and we're a losing team. So you shouldn't really be skipping any games if you try to make the playoffs.
I agree.
So that's a problem in itself. But I don't think Russell Westbrook has much trade value because what would teams be willing to give up with his contract, and then he's a limited shooter. So you would need to have great spacing on the floor in order to kind of incorporate Westbrook into your team. So,
Yeah. Um, it's see the Wizards. It's complicated because they need to change. I think they need to blow it up. Perfectly honest,
Okay.
restart all over. The only problem is nobody wants anything that they have to offer. So they're in like a catch-22 situation. Yeah, they want to, make a new identity and they need a new identity. But at the point in time, they can't get a new identity.
Right.
Because the only way they can get a new identity is to potentially get a big haul with Bradley Beal. But the problem with that is Bradley Beal said he didn't really want to leave. Yeah, he's upset about the situation, but he's one of the people that, we used to always say we don't have, those old time players just want to stick to where they are and win where they are. He came out and said, like I think it was like 2 days ago, 2 days ago, a week ago, that no, I want to be in Washington. Like I want to stick it out. I don't necessarily want a trade, but the situation is just bad.
Right.
And so they can't really do anything. They can't really do anything. They got to play it. They got to play it. They got to start it once to stay. But they know they need to blow it up and, you know, start new and start fresh.
Right.
But in the process of blowing up, they might just be falling in a bigger hole than, where they already are. Because you got to understand, yeah, they can get picks and they can get, like let's take Denver, for example. Denver's a prime, spot that everybody's saying, oh, it could be a great, trade destination for him. Not only does he get to play with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and become a big three offensive threat in the West, potentially be the piece that takes him over the hump, but Washington will also get Michael Porter Jr. They get a bunch of, maybe potentially Gary Harris and a couple of other quality, players as well as draft picks. But the problem is with draft picks, they're just picks.
Right.
You're thinking that you're going to get, the cream of the crop and, they're going to show up when they get on your team, but you don't know. You really don't know. And so you're, it's just like the stock market essentially, like with GameStop. You're hedging your funds on, a chance that something blows up versus a chance that somebody's going to be a bust. And so I don't know what the Wizards can do in this situation. They're in almost a lose-lose situation unless circumstances say otherwise, at least in my opinion.
Wow, this man brought up hedge funds talking about the Washington Wizards.
Look, man, I'm broke. I'm doing everything I can. I'm keeping up with the stock market.
I like that. All right, so talking about the Wizards, let's move on to the best Bradley Beal trade destination. So just let's talk about your favorite trade destination and what you think they might get back for that. Jean-Luc, is that going to be the Nuggets one for you?
I had the Nuggets. Okay. I was thinking Miami. But
you already know where I was headed with this. You know where I'm headed.
Hold on. But see, hold on. You know what, Mitch? You're going to say your fine destination because I feel like I might dog on it, but I don't want to do it. I want to hear what you had to say first. I want to hear what you got to say.
Wait on Donald first. Nah, I'm gonna go after him.
Okay. If I were to choose, it would the Nuggets is a really good one. That's a really good one. But I would probably say somebody like Atlanta. It's like teams that have something to offer, like somebody like the Lakers or somebody like they don't really have too much that they could offer the Wizards. That would kind of be interesting because Kyle Kuzma and Alex Caruso doesn't really get anybody excited. So
it's not going to make any movement.
That's not. But I think Atlanta, they got Cam Reddish, they got Kevin Huerter, they got like a couple pieces down in Atlanta that they could offer the Wizards. That'll probably be something decent. So I like Atlanta. Him and Trae Young, that'd be a nice combo.
So for me, my favorite trade destination is, of course, going to be the Miami Heat. Now, I don't like saying this by any means. Now, this is my favorite player on the Miami Heat by far. Tyler Hero, I would love to see him go for Bradley Beal, if I'm going to be honest here. I just think that Tyler Hero he's kind of what I like. Bradley Beal is kind of what I hope Tyler Hero would be, actually. So like I like the scoring, the passion to be able to rebound. Like they can both do a lot of things on the court as well as score the basketball. And like I think that especially with Tyler Hero being at point now, like he's starting to see he's starting to be in that John Wall situation where John Wall was out and Bradley Beal had to like just run point guard. And now he's so much better at passing now. Like Tyler Hero is going to be like that too eventually. So I would like to see Bradley Beal on the Heat, honestly. And Tyler Hero is, as much as I don't want to see him go, I think that would be a positive for our team, and we might actually perform better. So yeah, that's how
I see what you. I feel you. The only reason why I have a problem with Miami is because of those two core pieces that are inevitably they're going to have to go. and that is Duncan Robinson and Tyler
Oh,
Hero.
yeah, they're gonna have to
Like,
go. Yeah, I feel that. I do feel that.
and the reason why I don't like it is because of the fact that it's a similar situation with Michael Porter Jr. Those two players, more so Tyler Hero than Duncan Robinson, I feel like right now on the team, they're core pieces. They're set to be potential, amazing stars in the league. New excitement, new blood. To potentially be the cornerstones of a team. The problem is, I don't want to see them out of Miami because of the fact that I think it's going to be the same thing that happened with Brandon Ingram. Got in a destination. When he left, all of a sudden, when he was the main guy, you saw all the growth that he would inevitably have. And I want to see that in Miami. I'm not even a Miami fan, but I want to see him blossom. I want to see him turn into, that guy in Miami. But I don't think it's going to happen while he has another star on the team in Jimmy Butler, because he's the type of player that once you give him the keys to the car, okay, now he's going to evolve into, hey, I need to commit to taking a step up and keeping that step, for the rest of the time, because now everybody's relying on me. Right. And so that's why I don't want him to go, but he's going to have to go. And then but it would be great for Miami because of the fact that you would have, another big three, but it's going to be a short window, especially with, because Bradley Beal is 37.
No, he's 27, and then I think the
only 27. My bad. 27. My bad.
Yeah, the only real issue would be Jimmy Butler, just because he's 32. So we would have to definitely get. I don't know how we would get a new small forward at some point, because Jimmy Butler's probably going to be garbage at some point in the next 3 years. So yeah, Bradley Beal has a good 5 years of basketball left, maybe 6. He can push a little bit further, but
maybe even more for the way the NBA is evolving and people are resting and maybe even more. But think about this, Mitch. Do you think that the Heat would have to make a trade in order to turn their season around, or they're fine as is right now?
If there's any team that can turn their season around mid-season, it's the Miami Heat. Now, I was watching the Miami Heat when we had Goran Dragic, Deion Waiters, who was Josh McRoberts, and Hassan Whiteside. And we were really bad at the middle of the season, and we went on some ridiculous run. It was almost 30 games or something. We were winning so many games, and then we only missed the playoffs by 1 game. So, we have a better roster now than we had back then. I think we can really get it together. Our issue has been injuries, man. I screenshotted this graphic.
Yeah.
You have to see this. This is ridiculous. This happened during the game. They broadcasted it. Look how many people we had out, bro.
Oh, shoot.
And how many games they've missed. Bro, it's been bad. So, as much as we haven't been the team we were last year, COVID has definitely messed with us a lot. More so than I think a lot of teams, other than the Wizards, because they haven't been able to practice a lot of times. So let's keep moving on here. Let's get to the big topic here, which would be our award prediction so far. So let's first start off with, y'all want to go 6th man of the year first?
6 man.
Actually, let's go rookie of the year first. Actually, LaMelo Ball here. You already know.
Yeah.
How you guys?
I'm leaning towards LaMelo right now because my man James Wiseman got hurt. But if Wiseman was still healthy and active, he was putting up good numbers in Golden State. But LaMelo's playing great basketball. He's finally starting too, so I feel like he's just going to keep ascending.
Right.
So LaMelo was a great choice.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I think LaMelo as well. I would have said, again, if Wiseman had gotten hurt, probably would have said Wiseman. And the only caveat would have been unless LaMelo Ball got starting minutes and kept producing at the same rate. Mm-hmm. And we see now he's getting 30 minutes. And he's not producing at the same rate. He's producing better than he was. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to say, see, now, Mitch, don't get mad at me, please. Get mad at me, please.
What you about to say?
I know you. Do you remember the hype that we felt when we saw Ja Morant play for the first time in the NBA? Yes. I know it's bold, and what I'm saying is, I'm not saying he's at that level right now. What I'm saying is, you see that same comfortability, in the game, and whenever he's playing, you feel like, oh, his basketball IQ, his maturity, his poise and control on the floor is better than most young players at this point in time, especially with somebody that had a bunch of hype like him coming into the league. And he's not shrinking during the moment. He feels comfortable in the moment.
Right.
And because he feels comfortable, he's playing, free. just flowing. Especially with a young Hornets team that doesn't really have any veterans. Outside of Cody Zeller,
Gordon Hayward.
Right, Gordon Hayward or something.
Yeah, exactly. Outside of those two, he doesn't really have anybody else that's like, patting him on the shoulder, saying, hey, this is what you need to do. He's kind of like, hey, I know what I need to do,
Right.
and he's performing. I mean, this Joker he's. I think he's going to shoot. I give him 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I think he's going to be an all-star. And I don't say that about a lot of players.
I love that. Yes. I came in the season saying I was a rookie of the year. Yes, sir. Love that.
Definitely.
So next up, let's talk about most improved. Who y'all have for most improved?
Jaylen Brown.
That is a tough one. Extremely tough.
This is a really tough one.
I'm still
honorable mention to Tyrese Halliburton and the rookie of the year. Honorable mention.
Yes, that dude's playing.
That boy is.
My gosh.
Yeah, he is.
He's a bad boy.
Yes. Most improved.
I'm still sticking with Jaylen Brown.
Love it.
I feel like he's a lock for the All-Star game. He's been playing great this year. He's averaging almost 27, 28 points a night.
It's coming down a little bit though because Kemba Walker's back, and I'm a little bit concerned that he's on my fantasy team. But I think it's around 27 right now.
Yeah, I'm going with either Jaylen Brown or Christian Wood. Christian Wood's been playing great as well.
Who's got injured? That's
hopefully.
Yeah.
Houston as a whole has been playing better since they traded Harden. So I'm interested in Houston as well, but I'm still sticking with Jaylen Brown. He does it on both ends of the court.
Right.
Get his own bucket any type of way. I said the Clippers right too, so I'm interested to see that, him versus Kawhi and Paul George.
Me too. I really do want to see that matchup. But for me, I think Christian Woods has the edge. I get he got injured, which I was really scared it was an Achilles when he grabbed the back of his foot when on the ground. I was really scared about that. But, I think up until this point, for me, he came out of nowhere and was like, when everybody was questioning what the world, how is Houston going to be able to survive without, now nobody, he said, no, I'm somebody. And this Joker stepped up and he put 20 and 10. One game he had like 30-something. He's had a couple 30-point games this year. And he's come out the woodwork and been like, oh my gosh, this Joker's a stud. And I heard about him in Detroit. I had known he got traded around. And so I was thinking he was just, an average role player. But something happened and he just stepped up and said, no, I'm that guy. And I'm playing like that guy. And if he keeps this up, throughout the season, like the reason why I have him over Jaylen Brown is because we understood what Jaylen Brown was. We understood what Jaylen Brown could potentially be, especially when he had the keys to himself. Like when Jason Tatum got hurt, you saw the stretch, and when Kemba Walker wasn't playing as well and was out, you saw the stretch of, Jaylen Brown, he's picking up the slack. This is what, he's playing a little above what I thought he would do, but we see, bits and pieces of, he's got this in him. We didn't know Christian Woods has this in him up until he showed it. And he showed out and essentially carrying an organization with nobody else. And so because of that, and I hate it, but I know it's the case, storylines fuel a lot of these awards, regardless of whether you like it or not. And so because of that, you have to take that into account when somebody's playing great and has a great story behind them. And in this case, Christian Woods is somebody that has honestly been carrying a Houston team that we at one point thought was, they're all out of whack in every facet of the word. He said, I'm the savior, and I'm gonna be that guy to say, don't give up on us yet, because I'm here. And so because of that, I think that he would be, most improved for me.
Okay. So I got two sleeper guys that you guys didn't mention at all. So my first one is going to be Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons. That boy is absolutely hooping this year. Let me pull up what he's averaging. His average is
I think he's averaging at least 25. At least 25.
Right here. He's averaging 24 on the 35 minutes. And he is easily the Pistons' best player. And honestly, when he signed that big contract going to them, I didn't think that he was going to be this good. But wow, like we're seeing Jeremy Grant definitely take that next leap. And I didn't even think that he had this other level to him, honestly. And then the other guy that I'm going to bring up is Gordon Hayward of the other Hornets. Excuse me. As he's averaging 23 points this year on like 30 plus minutes, like 36 minutes, honestly. Like, and he doesn't even look like the same injury prone Gordon Hayward that we were looking at on the Celtics. Like I don't know what happened, but like this contract that he got in the offseason is looking completely worth it. Everybody looks wrong about it. Like, man, Gordon Hayward is definitely proving that he's still really good and that he can honestly be the best player on the team. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, but my most improved, I think, is going to be Jeremy Grant though, for sure, because I did not see that when he went to the Pistons. I did not see that.
Yeah, but he's on Detroit though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I feel like it might be hard for him to get it because of Detroit's record.
I agree. I'm not saying he's going to get it. He's just my favorite so far. That's all I'm saying. Not saying he's going to get it. So next up, let's talk about MVP. Actually, no, not MVP. Defensive Player of the Year. Excuse me. Defensive Player of the Year so far.
Can we give it to Miles Turner?
Yes, we can, and that is my favorite. Yes, sir. I love that pick.
Can we?
Yes, we can.
I look. He might. I don't. What was it? It was 4.3 blocks a game. At
Miles
one point
Turner is averaging 4 blocks a game.
I don't like that's that's some like Mark Eaton, Hakeem Olajuwon type stuff. I'm not. Can he sustain? If he sustains it, yeah, I would think he would be, in the front running. Right. The only reason why I would say he wouldn't win it is because of the fact that I feel like other perimeter defenders are getting a little more love from the overarching, the public. Like you got somebody like Ben Simmons, of course you got somebody like Kawhi Leonard. Mm-hmm. You got these players. Even LeBron has been, everybody's been bringing up whenever he's contested somebody, he's got the lowest, field goal percentage, defensively out of anybody in the NBA. And so I feel like because it's a perimeter centric league, and because all this bark and hoopla over oh my gosh, we got some people actually playing one-on-one defense, which I've been waiting on to say, we have other perimeter defenders that are good outside of Kawhi Leonard and June Holiday. I feel like it might take away potentially, but I'm not saying it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But if he keeps this same level of, 3 or 4 blocks, for the rest of the year, okay, I would say he probably deserves. I would say he deserves it.
Yeah, if you're getting 3 or 4 blocks a game, you got my vote. Yeah. Absolutely. Miles Turner is definitely my front runner. How about you, Donna? Was Miles Turner your guy?
Actually, no. I had before he got injured, I had Marcus Smart.
Okay.
Really?
Marcus Smart
does not get enough love.
He guards everybody. He's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's not afraid to just go in there and just he'll take on anybody literally. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he can just guard positions 1 through 5 even with his height, and he just plays with such toughness and grit. Like sometimes you got to reward the guys that aren't afraid. Like he's kind of like a new age Dennis Rodman, I think. Like he's kind of like a pest. He's not scared to get under your skin and do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, he's scrappy. You got active hands in the lane.
Exactly. I just feel like he's an ultimate defender. He'll just do whatever. Like he's literally the heart of the Celtics, I think. And I think without him, they won't really do anything in the playoffs. So.
Oh, does that mean that we can put Patrick Beverley in the conversation?
Oh, geez. he hasn't played enough games for me. I haven't seen Patrick Beverley at all. He doesn't play.
I feel like Patrick Beverley's more of a talker anyway. Marcus Smart, he's going to defend. Patrick Beverley will talk, and then you'll get annoyed with him talking, and then he'll just get a deflection, and then he'll be like, yeah.
Patrick Beverley is a bootleg version of Gary Payton.
Yeah,
I feel
like his defense isn't even really all that good. He has active hands and stuff like that, but like one-on-one defense, Patrick Beverley is not that great.
Yeah. Honestly. People just went crazy after he said he worked out in Tim's. That's not anything. That's just crazy.
That's not anything.
It's just crazy.
You're just insane and rich at that point.
Right.
You look crazy.
Right, you wearing basketball shorts and Tim's on the beach.
Let's talk about 6th man of the year. Who you got, Donna?
6th man of the year. It was Karis LeVert until he had his situation. So I'm trying to think of other 6 men.
I got a sleeper pick.
Really?
Who?
I'm gonna wait till.
No, you can go before. I want to hear this.
Yeah, you go.
I want to hear this.
You sure? All right, guys. So my sixth man of the year is going to be Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. Too easy. Way too easy. That man is averaging 18 points a game, getting 20 plus minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. His last few games got 31 points, 18 points, 23 points. He has a 13 and a 12 in there, but so far he's been really, really good off the bench. Yeah, and he's 12th ranked in his position in fantasy, which is pretty crazy to me. He's just outside of the top 10. Jordan Clarkson.
You know, I wasn't even thinking about it.
I know you weren't.
I really wasn't. I
know you weren't, but he's been great this season. Amazing. Lights out.
I was
sneaky pick. I wasn't thinking about Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, I wasn't. Shoot. Dang, you might be right. Especially when they just went on a big they just went on like a big game win streak. And it was Jordan Clarkson. He was like a big factor in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jordan Clarkson is the sixth.
That's
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gotta agree. I think I gotta agree.
Okay.
I think I do have to agree.
I like
you
that.
You agreeing with that?
I'm agreeing. I like averaging 18, being a vocal point for the bench, you know, for one of the at the point one of the NBA's hottest teams right now going. And this is a big jump from what he used to be.
Right.
My gosh.
He got
my goodness.
He's a whole new man. I haven't.
Shoot.
Right. Yeah.
That's what happens. Man, just become a savage. That's how it works.
I think I might go Shake Milton, Sixers.
Shake Milton. Okay.
If the Sixers keep up how they've been playing, and B's been playing great basketball, and then the team around him, I just feel like Shake Milton's a key part for them off the bench. The way he can score, he can knock down shots. He's a good free throw shooter. So I feel like if the Sixers keep up this pace and finish like top 3 in the East, then Shake Milton definitely got a chance. But the Jordan Clarkson pick, that was really good because
that was really good.
Great, and he's been playing great basketball as well himself. So I feel like it's Jordan Clarkson's to lose, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shake Milton had like a fighter's chance because I can't really think of any other 6 men this year. Because I feel like Lou Williams is like the LeBron of 6 men. Yeah, he's like the LeBron of 6 men. Like he's gonna be good every year, so it's like there's no point in keep giving him the same award. So I feel like it's good to have something different.
Now, do you think that Montrezl Harrell may have a shot at winning it? Potentially. I mean, he does come off the bench for the second unit of the Lakers. Yes, they sometimes implement him with the starters later in the game, but you know, he. At first, I thought the pickup wasn't going to be nothing. It was going to be like, yeah, I get where I kind of know what I'm gonna get, but it's been like, oh no, he's really gelled and produced for this team, both defensively and offensively. So that I'll give him a he's in the conversation, but he's like way far off.
Yeah,
he's averaging even less points than Shake Milton right now.
Yeah.
But he does have more rebounds, of course, because he's a big man. So I mean, he's just doing pretty well though. He's averaging 13 on the season, 13 and 6. So not bad at all. Not a bad pick by any means. So next up, I think this is the last award, if I'm not mistaken. It would be MVP. So who's your MVP so far? This would be the biggest question.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, MVP. Okay.
We gotta give LeBron his props. He's still the greatest player, the best player in the league. 36 years old. Like Lakers still playing great basketball, coming off 2 months rest. LeBron's still going out there playing every night, and he's playing the least amount of minutes he's ever played in his career. I think 30 minutes.
Backs as well. Yeah.
He just had a triple-double last night against Denver. Yeah. So we still got to give this man his props. He's the greatest player of our generation. So,
and my only rebuttal to that would be that I think he had a better case to get it last year as he was leading the league in assists. That was definitely the most assists he had, and he was the clear point guard. And like now, Dennis Schroeder's there, so his assist numbers are down. So while he's still LeBron, I think last year was definitely the year for him to get it. And Giannis should not have gotten it last year, to be honest.
I feel like this year it could be LeBron's because I feel like the Mavericks are kind of struggling right now. They don't really have, so I can't really see Luka getting it with the way they're struggling. And then, I mean, I can't really think anybody else that'd be deserving of it. I mean, Kevin Durant's playing great basketball though. You gotta throw KD's name in there, but I'm going LeBron.
I saw that look, Jean-Luke. Yeah, how you feel about that? There's nobody else.
It's everybody forgetting about Joel Embiid this year.
I knew it.
It's everybody forgetting about Joel Embiid this year. What happened? Literally, we have been begging for this man to get down in the post, and he finally got in the post and said, "I'm not shooting threes. I'm just bully." And he's averaging, 27 and 11, and he's he's turning the Sixers team around. They're finally playing like we thought they would be playing for like 5 years now. This is what we thought the process would look like. And finally, it's happening. Why are you just going to leave him out of the conversation? Granted, I don't think he's going to win it still.
I don't either.
I don't think he's going to win it, but you got to, come on, give him some respect at least. My gosh.
Embiid is definitely hooping. Embiid is definitely hooping. I just feel like, I don't know. He's got to show it to me in the playoffs. So it's the same thing with Giannis for real. So I feel like Embiid not going to get his props until he shows something.
But understand this. This is a regular season award. This is a regular season award.
It is.
All this stuff about show it in the playoffs, absolutely. That's for your legacy. Show it in the playoffs for your legacy. So we know, okay, what type of player you actually are. But in terms of regular season, it's whoever's performing the best. And right now, Joel Embiid is in that conversation. I still think LeBron will win it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will win it, even though the case can be very made strongly for Kevin Durant, especially with the way, and this is arguably, actually, wouldn't this be his best season?
This
offensively?
This can, and I think will be his best season, I really do, especially if they win the championship.
Yeah, and if the Nets win the East,
mm-hmm. I
will say Kevin Durant wins MVP. Okay. If the Nets don't win the East, or let me rephrase that actually. If Nets finish in the top two
mm-hmm.
in the East, I will say that Kevin Durant wins it if he plays as well this year and doesn't get hurt. If they get out of the top three in terms of by the end of the season, and the Lakers stay first and second, or probably win the West, which is what I think they're going to do. Yeah, I think LeBron wins it this year because this is a different LeBron, and I keep saying that every year, but somehow it always seems to bode true. Like at one point in Miami, he was just an athletic freak. When he came to the Cavs, he just went God mode about every game. And now he's dominating the game, literally shooting threes the best he's ever shot, taking almost entire games off up until the fourth quarter and scoring, 15, scoring 20, scoring 23, just at the drop of a hat after going only scoring like 2 or 3 points and a couple of assists, for the first like 3 quarters of the game. And so somehow he's always found a way to evolve and still be like, no, I'm still that guy, regardless of the situation.
Right.
And so if he keeps doing that, I think he's going to win it this year.
Honorable mention to LeBron James is shooting like almost 40% from three. But my MVP pick is a sleeper yet again, and is going to be the best player at his position easily in the league, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets.
I'm sleeping on that.
Let's talk about it. Now, this man is averaging 6 points per game, along with about 2 steals a game, 8.5 assists, and 12 rebounds. And he's had Jamal Murray, who has not looked at all like himself all of this entire season so far. He's been basically point guardless, all right, without Jamal Murray playing the way he is. Michael Porter Jr. was out for damn near 2 weeks on COVID protocols and stuff like that. Jokic was just playing. He's been just hooping the entire time. Like, it doesn't matter who's out there on the court with him. He's going to put up his 5 or whatever assists he gets a game. Like, it's crazy. It's literally insane. Jokic does not get talked about enough for me. Easily the best center in the league. Greatest passer from the center spot I think I've ever seen. And he's averaging about 35 minutes a game and playing almost every game as well. So, yeah, Jokic is going to be my MVP.
Jokic is definitely a great pick. He's been playing great. Triple-double machine.
He's a great pick, but I'm sleeping on that.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on it too.
I'm taking a nice long nap on that. I'm sorry. I love him. Trust me, I am the biggest Jokic fan. You'll probably find, this side of the South, because I love the way that dude plays. You want to talk about, as an offensive talent, he might be the best offensive big in the NBA right now. Because there is no, arguably the best footwork, best, passing vision, and just court awareness outside or inside of the paint. You know, he can shoot 15 feet out. He can, you know, post you up 20 feet out and still make it. He can spot up for three. He's got everything you want. I just don't think he's going to win it. I just really don't think, even with all of that, I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to get the voters to say, yeah, this is the guy. Now, if they win the West, hey, that's a different story. That's a different story. If he's playing like that and they win the West, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. But too many times I've seen where no matter how good of your production is, outside of Russell Westbrook, if your team isn't up there in terms of either winning or top three in your conference, you don't get the requisite votes needed. And so I can't take that out of the equation. So because of that, I don't think they're going to be able to get that award for Jokic, because I don't think they're going to be able to win the West. And if they do, hey, I'll say, yeah, he deserves it. If they don't, I'm going to say, no, he's not going to be able to get it.
But I do want to put it out there that everybody's talking about Joel Embiid, you know, with his 27 and 11. Jokic is out here with 26 and 12 with 8.5 assists. Okay. With 8.5 assists. That man should be in the MVP conversation. It's ridiculous. It's asinine. The fact that nobody talks about him. It's ridiculous. That's been this episode of the Got Next podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe and all of that type of stuff. Thank you, Jean-Luke, for coming to the show. We'll definitely have you on again. And
Appreciate it.
You guys have a good one. Let's go.